Hello, welcome back to my channel. Today we're here to discuss episode 3 of American Nightmare. Let's get started. So episode 3 opens up in Dublin, California. There's a 911 call reporting a break-in. A woman was calling in to say that her husband is fighting with an intruder and they're trying to kidnap her daughter. She was hiding in the bathroom at the time that she made the call. When the police showed up, they saw blood everywhere. The husband had blood all over his face, but his daughter was safe. The kidnapper actually left his phone behind the scene, which was odd. That was different, that the kidnapper would take his phone when he knew he was doing a home intrusion. The police were able to locate the owner of the phone, and the owner of the phone was the mother of Matthew Mueller. Matthew Mueller was a former Marine and a Harvard graduate. The mom gives the police the location of her son. The police go to South Lake Tahoe to find the suspect. He's in a cabin. Now, Misty Karasu, she's a cop, and she comments how Matthew looks relatively normal. She says he's your average white male. At the cabin, the cops find duct tape and zip ties. Matthew had a lot of items in the cabin that were similar to other crimes that the cops had seen. He also had fake guns that were painted to seem real, which was odd. They also find the white Mustang in his driveway, which turned out to be inside the trunk of the white Mustang. They found a blow-up doll, which they thought was weird. They also found a long blonde hair in the trunk of the car. So we cut back to Denise and Aaron. And Denise and Aaron stay at their parents' home due to the police presence at their home. Denise comments how she was attacked on Facebook and received nasty DMs from people who she thought, were her friend and from strangers. She comments how her and Aaron weren't working at the time and they honestly didn't know if the hospital would accept them back. They also found out that the FBI investigator that interrogated Denise, David Sessman, he actually used to date Aaron's ex-girlfriend, Andrea, and that was very weird. David should have removed himself from the case once he found out that Aaron used to date Andrea. He had too much personal involvement in the case, so he really should have removed himself from the case. So we find out that Matthew Mueller had broke into people's houses several times, and he had an MO. He always made his victims drink NyQuil, and to me, it was amazing how police departments don't talk to each other, like they don't have some type of, and they probably do have some type of database where they type in, the MO and the criminals, different characteristics, different crimes that they commit, but they didn't put the pieces together. So we get to a lady named Tracy. She was assaulted in the middle of the night, and it was the same MO, the same type of crime that Matthew Mueller had committed before. She was zip-tied and made to wear blacked-out goggles. However, she begged the kidnapper not to assault her, not to take her, and then it turned out he gave her crime prevention tips, which was weird. I mean, this guy was just a weird guy. So they traced the white Mustang. It was stolen in Vallejo, California. And then the documentary goes into the Mare Island Creeper. And it turns out that the Mare Island Creeper was Matthew Mueller. Now, he would go and look into people's houses and peep at them through their windows. And several people called to report this, but the cops essentially did nothing about it. So the cop, Misty, she actually put it together that it was the same guy. However, the Vallejo police didn't do anything about it. So Misty made it her business to get in contact with the Vallejo Police Department to let them know that, hey, this is the same guy. The FBI finally realizes that Denise is telling the truth. They also find out that Aaron didn't fail the lie detector test. The cops lied to him. And they found out that the law enforcement failed to trace the calls. In episode 1, Aaron was waiting for the kidnappers to contact him, and they did contact him a couple of times, but the cops never bothered to trace the calls to see where they were coming from. If they had, they would have found Denise that day. Matthew Mueller was sentenced to 40 years in prison for kidnap, robbery, and rape. And Denise and Aaron ended up suing the city of Vallejo for defamation, which they had every right to because they threw Denise under the bus. During that case, they found out that Andrew Badu, the chief of police, told Officer Park to burn that bitch. And then he was referring to Denise. Because of that, Denise and Aaron they actually won their case. They settled out of court for $2.5 million. Denise and Aaron got to meet Misty Karasu, who broke the case. Denise and Aaron go on to get married, and they had 2 kids, Olivia and Naomi. So that's where this episode ends. If you haven't seen episode 1 and 2, please go back and watch them. If you have any comments, please make them below, and I'll see you again soon.